Now, on the topic of Terrace Marshall Jr., since I kind of segued us into this shit.
He ain't worth the fuck.
He's not. He's not. And we've tried, me and Terrence have been very, very, very mindful because we've had this conversation multiple times, numerous times, all throughout the offseason. Y'all met Rod, well, not really met him, but y'all saw Rod last week, our consultant. He told us that we need to chill with the way we be talking about players as individuals and shit like that. But he ain't worth the fuck. Now, like I said, we've tried to be very, very mindful about this. And we've tried to teeter on that line of, being disrespectful and just call it, you know what I'm saying? And at least shooting a little bell, being a little grace, saying it a bit more gracefully, rather, should I say. But Terrace Marshall Jr., cool. So, to start the season off, I feel as though Terrace Marshall Jr. is going to be wide receiver 1.
Respectfully so. I think a lot of people did.
Absolutely. We heard rumors that him and Bro had smoke. That was part of the reason why his development was stunted. That was part of the reason why he wasn't getting as many opportunities as we seen. Then Steve Wilkes comes in. Terrace Marshall Jr. takes, he starts blowing the top off of the defense. We know everything about Pro Football Focus and what they said about him winning, routes 20-plus yards or whatever the fuck it was. So coming into the season, we feel as though Terrace Marshall Jr. is going to be receiver number 1. Cool. We go to training camp. He don't do a bitch-ass thing. But we going to shoot you bail because it's just practicing, it's just training camp, and we not going to overreact to you just not doing a bitch-ass thing when we there. Because we were only there for 3 days. So cool. Go to the preseason, he don't do shit. Then 2 weeks ago, he has 9. Well, go all the way back to that. He ain't done shit the first 4 weeks of the season. Then you go to the first 3 weeks of the season, rather, should I say. Then you go to week 4. He has, 9 catches? Or my timeline seems a little off, or is that right? No, that's accurate, because we went to Seattle week 3. So week 4 against Minnesota, he then has 9 catches. We think he has some momentum. Though the 9 catches was only for whatever the fuck it was for, I believe like 50 yards, 56 yards, some weird ass shit.
Yeah,
like that.
He had 9 catches for 56. Yeah,
9 for 56. Okay, cool. That's week 4. So then week 5, you don't touch the football field, and your head coach goes into the press conference and makes himself look like a dumbass, and we slander him. But then we see your effort on week 6, and then to JJ, again, I tell y'all on multiple occasions, my brain just thinks a little fucking differently. So the only thing Frank Reich was trying to do was protect your ass. Because if you would have had a coach like me, I would have just went on the podium and told niggas, I know everybody wants to keep asking me about Terrace Marshall Jr. and why he's not getting reps. But if you look at his effort in practice, if you look at his, the lack of ability that he's shown throughout training camp in the first 6 weeks of this season to make a big play or to gain any rack or to do any of that shit, if you look at his effort in game, if you look at his attitude, then you will understand why Terrace Marshall Jr. is not getting any reps. But because Frank Reich is not that type nigga, is not that type guy, not that type person, he saves you and he makes himself look like a dumbass. But then you show us, again, my brain works a little bit different, so then you show us week 6 against Miami, the reason why you haven't been playing. Because your effort is fucking terrible, because your attitude is fucking terrible. When you get opportunities to get on the field, you do nothing with it.
And drop the ball.
And drop the football.
On a crucial third down.
On a crucial third down. And I go back even to week 3 against Seattle when I believe he dropped one. It was either the Seattle game or the Minnesota game, but it was some play that I believe it was either 2nd and 9 or 3rd and 9.
Was it the slant?
Yeah, him and DJ Chark on back-to-back fucking plays.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you get your shit off too. But Terrace Marshall Jr., and I say this to our supporters and our fans and the motherfuckers that fuck with our content, Terrace Marshall Jr. ain't worth the fuck. The high hopes and everything that we had for him, y'all might as well throw it away. Now, this could be a situation where he leaves Carolina and he goes absolutely berserk, but transparently, I couldn't give a fuck. Because like I said last week and like I said on the live this past Sunday, if you're not going to embrace the grind, if this shit is too tough for you right now, get the fuck out. If you can't show effort and you can't play winning football and you don't do what's necessary to win football games, get the fuck out. If your attitude and your effort is going to be bullshit, get the fuck out. Because though, like you said, it takes a different type dog and demon to get up for a game or to get up for a certain situation based on you being 0-6. At some point, like Tavian mentioned about 5 or 10 minutes ago, it's about your respect. And so if I can't look at you as a man, and I'm not challenging your manhood, but if I can't look at you as a man and say, okay, cool, when you get punched in the mouth, are you going to stand the fuck up and you going to fold without feeling like you going to give me the answer or feeling like your play is going to give me the answer that you'll fold, then I don't fucking need you in the locker room. And I say that again with all due respect. I feel like you had a tough go at it with Matt Rule. I feel like your situation wasn't ideal because you had Sam Darnold, then you had PJ, then you had Baker. I get it. I understand. But when you get your opportunity and you nut it and dick it away, then you can't look to JJ to shoot you no bail. Because I had very, very high expectations for you. And maybe this is a me problem. We've admitted on multiple occasions on this podcast that JJ has a problem with setting expectations too high, and then when niggas fall short, then it's just all balls to the wall. But I think that Terrace Marshall Jr. is a player that I've given ample amount of chances to. Now, Bryce, maybe I tweaked on him a little bit too early, and I can come on here and admit that to y'all. I can. But Terrace Marshall Jr. has had ample amount of time to make this shit right and to take a step forward as not even an elite wide receiver, as a halfway decent wide receiver. And he just simply hasn't done that.
Yeah, especially with the way that the wide receiver room looks when it's just Adam Thielen, really. You have every opportunity to at least be wide receiver 2. And so that just leads me to believe you ain't doing a bitch-ass thing in practice. Because it ain't no way you get 9 receptions 1 week, you're not on the injury report, and then you just don't play the next week, and you're just so fucking mud that the coach is like, oh, I forgot about him. I had to tell my coach that, oh, little bro might need to get some reps this game. Like we was blowing the niggas out by 50. Like, when shit like that happens, and then the next week, you get in the game, you have acid, you drop passes, and then you get up like you just don't give a fuck. He's one of the ones that just doesn't want to be here or just doesn't want to play football. But I seen that in the Minnesota game because he was dropping passes in that game, and then every time he got touched, he was damn near ready to get that bitch up. And that shit was pissing me off. The only reason I didn't spaz is because it would be out of bounds or some shit. Or he would be down. But I'm like, nigga, you really want to get that bitch up.
Hey, can I make a comment? This is the same problem we had with Shaw Smith.
Yeah.
This is why we ran Shaw Smith damn near out of Charlotte. Lack of effort. Hands look like mud. We know you got the potential to really be, I won't even go as far as to say a star, but we know you have the potential to be a good receiver. But because of your lack of work ethic and your lack of give a fuck, you just can't get out your own way. It's sad and it's embarrassing and it's sick, transparently.
Yeah, and that's all it is at this level. If you're a wide receiver in the NFL and you're dropping passes, it's due to a lack of concentration and nothing else, because otherwise you wouldn't be here.
And a lack of effort.
Yeah.
And a lack of work ethic. Because the league is designed for offense. I hope y'all know that. If you don't know that, then you just don't know football. And you should I don't even know what you should do.
So they've made the job way easier.
Way easier. You can't get stretched. Yeah, I was about to say, you can't get stretched like that no more.
Can't breathe on the wide receiver neither, coming across the middle.
Yeah, you can't do shit. You can't touch the nigga past 5 yards. You can't even do like this right here without it being an illegal contact. So the issue is you, Terrace Marshall Jr. And I know that y'all watch And I hope that I don't be rubbing y'all the wrong way. I know that some of y'all I do. And transparently, I don't give a fuck, but I hope that it doesn't come off that way. It's strictly an opinion. But if you look at what Terrace Marshall has done with his opportunity, because everybody on this set will agree that we all had Terrace Marshall Jr. being wide receiver 1, if not at the very lowest wide receiver 2, because we knew for a fact DJ Chark had an injury history, and we knew for a fact Adam Thielen was fucking old as hell. And John, we didn't know what to really expect from him. I gassed him, but that's just because for whatever reason I liked his attitude. Cool. I sucked the nigga's dick too quick. Pause. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So I think that all of us on this set can agree we all had TMJ as being wide receiver 1. What he has done with his opportunity has been nothing short of just embarrassing and sad and disappointing.
That niggas even got your jersey.
That Terrence even went a step further and got your jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how much confidence we had. I went as far as to damn near feel as though, looking at it in hindsight, like I'm a crackhead. I went as far as to bet a Cowboys fan that I know very, very well, near and dear to my heart, that is our producer and our cameraman. I went as far as to put money on you, saying that you would have more yards in a season than CeeDee Lamb.
Appreciate
now, was
you,
I
TMJ.
smoking crack? Was I smoking crack at that time? I must have been. But I just thought you were built a little bit different, TMJ. I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies. I thought you was a dog. My bad. My bad. That's on me. That's on me. I apologize, TMJ. I'm sorry. Now, if you go out there at Cincinnati or some shit like that, you might turn that bitch up. But at the end of the day, what you'll always know in your heart is that you had 3 or 4 years to develop and to cement yourself as a wide receiver number 1 for a team that was in desperate need of a wide receiver number 1. And when the time came for you to step up, when that team got rid of DJ Moore, you absolutely pissed your opportunity away. And as a football player, that's something that you'll have to deal with for the rest of your career. And at the end of the day, psychologically, that's something that you'll have to deal with for the rest of your life. And I can't say that I feel bad because I don't think that you did what was necessary to take that step in your growth and your development.
And I don't want to spend no more time on him because I don't really think he deserves it. But it's crazy that multiple coaching staffs have come through this door and you've ended up in the doghouse of every single one. So, and with that, I'm going to leave it.
Yeah. Because Steve Wilkes let you go. Like, Steve Wilkes let you have at it. And even with that, we were a little bit delusional in that respect because you only really did shit against Cincinnati and against Detroit. And even in the Detroit game, he had maybe, 2 catches? One of them, he just put his dick on somebody's neck.
Yeah, you wasn't even really getting, crazy amount of yards anyway. It was just the way you was just bodying niggas up that we had you gassed up. And we was going off, based off of that, what we saw the potential to be. But, I mean, I don't know. Fuck them.